Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for Alexander the Eyes of the Creator Savage, also known as A9S. This boss may seem daunting at first, but I'm here to give you a hand and show it's just as easy as taking out the trash. My name is Ms. Tech and I'll be your raid guide. Refurbisher begins the fight with 3 buffs, reassembling left arm, right arm, and main hull. Throughout the encounter, Refurbisher will attempt to rebuild these parts through the use of scrap around the arena. Should Refurbisher manage to rebuild the main hull, he will cast Scrap Storm and you will die. Periodically, you will see specific walls of the room light up. After a set time, the affected quadrants of the room will turn to lava, destroying anything within that area. This includes players and any scrap bots. Players caught within these lava pits will suffer a hard-hitting fire dot, and it's recommended to avoid these active areas at all times. These lava pits will be used to destroy scrap bot corpses and prevent Refurbisher from stockpiling more scrap as long as possible. Dead scrap dolls will drop down onto the arena, along with power generators. Assigned players will be able to pick up and transport these generators to the fallen scrap adds. Once placed, the power generators will cast energy discharge, activating any scrap bots close to them. These scrap bots will fixate and tether to the first person that aggroes them. These tethered players will have to lead the adds to the incoming lava quadrants, while the rest of the group focuses them down. If positioned in the appropriate quadrant, the scrap bots will be permanently destroyed by the lava when it activates. This order of events acts as a mini DPS check, as players will need to activate, maneuver, destroy, and melt the adds before Refurbisher casts his next stockpile. At the start of the fight, 3 dead scrap bots will be scattered around the arena. Refurbisher will immediately cast Stockpile, utilizing the available arena scrap to rebuild his right arm. This is unavoidable and will occur 15 seconds into the encounter. This delay gives you some free time to DPS before he's fully active. Once the right hand is reassembled, the main tank will need to position Refurbisher's head away from the raid to avoid cleaving everyone with scrap, a frontal column attack on the primary target. The first lava quadrant indicators will light up and the first set of adds will spawn. The assigned players will grab their generators and plop them down in each pile of adds. Once active, the adds will be dragged into the incoming lava quadrant and destroyed as quickly as possible. At the same time, 3 players will be targeted by these orange markers and eventually drop down a meteor down on the platform. These do no damage dropping down, so no specific positioning is necessary. However, I would suggest dropping them down as close to the boss as possible to allow all players to continue damaging the boss. The boss will then cast Scrap Burst, a raid-wide AoE blast that will do high damage and place a dot on any player's hit. To avoid this, players will use the drop meteors to line of sight the attack. Once the adds are destroyed in the lava and Refurbisher unsuccessfully casts Stockpile, get ready for SCRAPLINE. This is a massive 270-degree frontal with no telegraph. To avoid this, players must stand directly behind the boss while the main tank cooldowns through it. Eventually, the next set of adds will drop down and the cycle repeats with the raid adjusting clockwise. The only difference here is 4 players will be targeted by these blue markers. Moments after, they'll be hit by acid rain, which will do splash damage to them and anyone around them. These players should move away from others or in specific areas to avoid overlapping damage. Immediately after, players will need to be on the lookout for Scrap Bomb. 1 player will be marked with this familiar stack up marker. The others will need to move in to share the damage. After these sets of adds, FULLMETAL FAUST will drop down, indicated by this proximity marker in the north. Move away from the impact zone to reduce damage. When FAUST is active, it is tethered to Refurbisher, rendering the boss invulnerable and causing a high priority mode to initiate. In this mode, the lava quadrants follow a specific pattern and activate much quicker than you're used to. If FAUST is caught in the lava before he is destroyed, he will cast Scorched Earth and you will die. Essentially, the off-tank will need to pick him up as soon as he drops down and face him away from the group while moving around the room, keeping out of the spawning lava sections as necessary until he is destroyed. During this time, players will have to deal with a rogue SCRAPLINE and acid rain, and a stacking debuff on the off-tank. Once FAUST is destroyed, the high priority mode will end and the lava quadrants will return to normal. The next set of scrap bots will drop down. This time you'll notice 3 large piles of adds, 1 new ALARUM add, and only 1 power generator. Since only 1 group of scrap bots can be activated, the other 2 will inevitably be stocked and Refurbisher will finally be allowed to reassemble his left arm. But before all that, the group will have to drop meteors and dodge Scrap Burst as usual while dealing with the new ALARUM add. This ALARUM will tether and fixate to the first person to aggro it. Once it is destroyed, it will leave behind a puddle that will afflict anyone standing in it with minimum. Avoid this for now. Make sure you kill the active add group before the next lava spawn and stack for Scrap Bomb as necessary. After Stockpile, Refurbisher will be able to reassemble his left arm. With both arms active, players will now have to look out for double SCRAPLINE. This is a full 360-degree attack that deals high high damage and will probably kill you. The only way to avoid this is to step into the ALARUM puddle during this cast and become middied. In the next set of ads, you'll notice an additional set of bombs spawning in the northeast corner of the room. These will explode in large AoE circles. Avoid as necessary. These are essentially adding another quadrant avoidance mechanic to the fight, and the ALARUM player must be careful not to accidentally get the ALARUM destroyed by these explosions. At this point, you've seen every mechanic possible, and it's just a matter of repeating the cycles until you destroy the boss. Remember to spread for acid rain, stack for scrap bomb, and avoid double scrapline by stepping into the ALARUM puddles. Kill the ads and lava quadrants while avoiding bombs, and burn down that boss. And there you have it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you'd prefer a more in-depth analysis of the fight, please visit the text version of this guide linked in the description below. Up next, we'll head into the breath of the creator. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.